Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Irvin, with another manga chapter review that's going to be on the Jinrou game, chapter 11th of this series, guys. It really got interesting, and they did vote in this chapter, so we know who is supposed to die, and I'm going to explain why I say suppose. Before I continue, I want to say a few things. One, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. Secondly, if you haven't seen the first 10 videos on this series, you can watch it in my channel. We watch all those chapter reviews, the first 10 chapter reviews, and then lastly, there is a spoiler alert because I will talk about the 11th chapter. So, with nothing else to say, here we go. So the 11th chapter, we get the background story of Machimura. Machimura seemed to be like a normal guy. Now, Machimura, I've said it before, he's a short, stout guy. By that I mean, you know, he's chubby, like me. So anyways, we see him skinny in the past, and he's in high school, and he notices a girl's kind of whimper help, and he looks over and he sees the girl, and he starts looking for who the person might be that's groping her, and two guys start blaming him. Now, I don't know if the guys were actually the ones that did it or who did it, but the point is the guys blame him. They take him out of the train with Marie, and they blame it all on him. Now, the officer in the train station says, okay, there's not enough proof. You guys' stories don't match up. Basically, he says sorry to Marie. Marie says, you know, it's fine. And then they separate. Now, at this point, he doesn't know who the girl was. He just goes back to school like nothing happened. Now, people in the train that were going to the same school as Machimura saw what had happened, and everyone obviously weren't there in the office when everything was cleared up, so everyone started saying he's a groper, he's a groper, he's a weirdo, he's a groper. So Machimura basically goes into the state of depression, and some people, when they get depressed, they start eating a lot, and that's basically what happened to him. He started eating a lot, and he started just studying. He wanted to be the best in his class, and he did. He you know, they kind of flashed into the future, or still in the past, but a few years later, him just being the smartest of the class and acing the tests and becoming secretary of the class itself. So he's a smart dude. He then flashes back to him being in the room, and the name of the screen is Marie. She's the girl that was, you know, blaming him for groping her. So he considers that as ruining his life, and at this point he's still freaking out. He's saying, you know, it's her fault, she's probably a werewolf, and Tadakun makes a great question. Marie, why do you confess that you're a prophet? If by you confessing that you're a prophet, we might, you know, kill Machimura as a werewolf, but the second werewolf that's left then might be able to kill you. So why did you, you know, confess to being the prophet? And then the same question goes to Tagashi. Why did he confess, or why did he say he was the prophet? So why they're both saying they're prophets, it just doesn't make sense, because they're putting their life in the line. So eventually the announcer comes out and says, okay, we got 1 minute left, and 30 seconds, 10 seconds. They count down, and everyone votes. Nishina-san is still doing her own thing, and she votes for herself. She's being a weirdo, and I still suspect that she's a werewolf, and she's guilty about being a werewolf. It's a gut feeling that I think that Nishina-san is probably the werewolf. But anyways, Machimura gets voted out, and he starts freaking out, obviously. The announcer says, okay, you know, guys know the rules. You got 15 minutes to eliminate the person that was voted for. And I think Konami or Hitomi, I'm not sure who it was, opens up a case where there's weapons. And she's like, hey, whoever voted for him should be the one that finished the job. And that's basically it. What we see at the end of the chapter is Machimura reaching for a knife and going to attack Marie. Now, we don't know if he actually attacks her. We don't know what actually happens. The next chapter will be the last chapter of the second volume, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be very intense. And then we're going to go to the third and last volume in this series. So we're 7 chapters away from finishing this series, guys, and I'm excited to finish it. I'm excited to see what's happening at the end, and I just don't know. So I'm going to leave it at a 7.5, guys. I don't feel like I should raise it, but I don't feel like I should lower it either. So 7.5 is the rating. Before I close, I want to say a few things. One, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that so much. But secondly, I already have a few series that I will be reviewing after Jinrou game, and I will be releasing the first chapter review on Wednesday. I'll be releasing around 3 or 4 special Halloween videos, and there'll be special reviews. Most of them will be around the whole horror theme. So on Halloween, expect 4 special videos. I will be working with Premiere YouTube, that they do this Premiere thing. So if you guys want to know what they are going to be, you guys can subscribe and you'll be notified hours before the video goes on live that it's going to be premiering at the time that it will, and you guys can chat with me in the chat room before it even shows up in YouTube. So that's my special surprise for you guys on Wednesday. So chapter review for sure. I will have also a special volume review of a manga that I'm reading, and then I'll also have a comic review for you guys. So thank you so much for all the love and support, guys. With nothing else to say, thank you for all the love, and like always, guys, don't be strangers. See you guys.